Today on Game Feels, I think we need to kind of expose what No Man's Sky truly is and the experiences you can expect to get out of it. So, to be honest, everyone's experiences is going to vary 100% from my own. All I can do is kind of assure you that things will get better or they may get worse. Let me paint a picture for you. So, I had just come from Abzu, the wonderful, colorful world of the ocean, full of life, full of richness, full of, well, goals and a purpose. And as a gamer, I was ecstatic. I loved it. If you checked out my other video, you'll know that I thought it was very special. So, with this promise of the universe and the endless reaches of time, basically, how much ever I wanted to put in this game is what I'm going to get out of it. So, coming from Abzu and spawning in on my first planet in No Man's Sky, I was very disappointed because what I was greeted with was basically a barren wasteland of nothing. There were occasional rocks or diamonds, and they have necessary elements in them. But it didn't have what I was hoping for to see the most of was life. My girlfriend that was with me can attest. She saw that disappointment in me, or that I had for the game. But I think I've put in 6 hours now, and I want everyone to know that's tuning into Game Feels that it gets better. And what I mean by that is every planet is its own hub world of life. One planet may be covered in ice with a threat of ice storms, and in all honesty, you're gonna experience that. I know I was on the hunt for a monolith, and I needed to learn more about the native species in my galaxy that I was in order to communicate with them, trade with them, and really get in a good standing with them, almost define like a balance in the universe to let them know, hey, I'm an outsider, but I have my goals that hopefully you guys can help me achieve. And I was en route, and it would say, warning, storm approaching, and I was in a blizzard. I was in freezing rain that was crystallizing my spaceship, and I'd get out, and it'd say, warning, warning, temperature at critical, and I'd be freezing. And the next planet I went to, it was toxic gas, or another was intense heat. And I thought to myself, okay, well, I'm going to jump in the water. And the water seemed to be the source of the heat. But also, I had been looking out on the planet's surface, and similar to my first one that I landed on, it was barren and void of life. But then I dove under the water, and I found creatures, giant salamander mixed with a manatee, it seemed like, that was hunting me down. And then there were giant fish creatures that I think I named Minopotamus. No, I didn't really. But the point is that there's always life in these planets, and sometimes they'll be void of it, but the life may be inside of a cave or a mineral-rich moon. And you think, okay, well, there's my planet. I need to go check out right over this hill. You fly over there and you see a grazing herd of antelope creature with giraffe necks. Or I went to one planet and it was this cow with a giant V-shaped pink horn. It looked like something from prehistoric times where it's an ancestor of a rhinoceros, but just a whole lot uglier. And it's so amazing that these planets created this life and sustains it. That's another thing. Everyone kind of has their own ecosystem, where it be this one is rich in carbon, this one's rich in aluminum, this one's rich in plutonium or iron or nickel, and things feed off of that. They've kind of adapted or evolved to survive the planets they live on. I remember listening to an interview with the developer, and he said, we needed to make sure that a planet's sky was green. Let's say we wanted a planet with green sky. Well, they created their own periodic table of elements for the game. And when they created one with skies that were green, it threw out the planet's, well, natural balance and created something that would have tsunamis or giant windstorms that would throw about the ocean. So they said, oh my gosh, we have to find a chemical balance. This is real world stuff. They have to find a chemical balance to basically make their ecosystem healthy and functional, to one, support the life, support the player who drops on by. And the craziest thing about all this is Someone may not even see this planet ever. I remember watching a video and they said that if you were to spend 1 second on each planet, and this doesn't count travel time, but 1 second at each planet, it would take 558 years to visit each planet for a fraction of the actual time that you'd want to spend on it, kind of diving into its oceans or soaring over the wasteland looking for that trader or outpost. It's just amazing the scale that Hello Games has created for us as players. And if I were to touch on some of the emotions or feels that you're going to get out of this game, I hope you do. It's that sense of unknowingness, and you get to fill a role of almost Indiana Jones or Christopher Columbus, where you are the explorer or the pillager, and you dive into these new literally alien worlds to see what you can find. And there's danger as well. The creatures themselves, they're carnivores. Most of them are herbivores from my personal experience. If you've ran into anything or you've gone to an extremely hostile planet, feel free to let me know in the comments. But most of mine have been grazing creatures guarded by the sentinels. And we'll touch on them in a little bit after we talk about what it is you do in No Man's Sky besides soar around, explore, document. But so you have this sense of it's your duty to explore. And it's kind of driven home a little bit more with the main one of the main mechanics of the game is your visor scanner, and you'll come across these new wildlife and you'll scan them in. It'll grant you credits, or in this game they call it units. In the galaxies they call their currencies units. And so you actually get really good rewards for documenting your finds. I can't even begin to think of all the different possibilities that are out there. And that's what drives me. The last kind of emotion is that drive to keep going. And it's like an addictive behavior, because people say that once you're addicted to something, you depend on it or you keep going back to it over and over and over again. And in No Man's Sky, I say, I'm going to stop at this station. I'm going to trade in my supplies. I'm going to upgrade my ship once. And then I'm going to go to bed. Great. I get there, and all of a sudden, on my way to the space station, on the way there, you're attacked by pirates because they know that you have this precious cargo, and they target you. So you'll get flanked by 4, sometimes 6 pirate ships. The next thing you know, you're in a dogfight fending for your life to protect the resources that you've just devoted maybe half an hour to go farm. one thing I think that needs explained is the universe itself that makes up No Man's Sky. And I don't mean just the planets that you're going to visit, but the elements to what makes up a galaxy. When you first warp to a galaxy, you're going to be somewhat close to a space station, and each galaxy has its own little trading hub. Here, the other pilots of the universe are going to land. You can see the different types of ships they have, and you can also trade with them one-on-one, sometimes even offering money to buy their ship. Maybe it has more inventory slots or better upgrades. Regardless, you can make an offer, you can at least browse a little bit and kind of get a feel of what you hopefully will get to grow into as a novice explorer. And to me, that makes me really excited because the more resources I can carry, the more money I'm going to have, the better multi-tool I can get. It just is full circle. The other part of the universe that is very frustrating, that's definitely the feeling I get from it, are these little robots called the Sentinels. And I like to classify them as guardians of the galaxies. And they're there to kind of maintain order of the planets that you are exploring. So let's say we're mining for iron. So we hunt and we hunt and we hunt for this piece, and we finally find the rocks that are going to supply us with it. On some planets, if we mine the heck out of the rock, things are going to be a-okay and it's like nothing ever happened. But then there are planets where you make one move and the Sentinels are on your case. They will hunt you down, they send advanced units your way. I had a dog-like unit chase me down and shoot me with like a shotgun kind of beam spread, and it just decimated my explorer. And I think it just is a little bit too much. I don't want to use the word overpowered because you have shields, you can upgrade your shields. Yes, you could say, oh, I need to upgrade my weapons so I can fight them better. But I think this needs a little balancing because the Sentinels attack you for basically every move you do. Let me paint another little picture for you. So when you get to a planet, you can activate your scanner and there will be little question marks. These question marks are waypoints or points of interest that are your respawn hubs. They may be places where you can sell items. So basically it's just a marker. It's a spot in the world. I went to a spot in the world, a waypoint, and I activated it. That's it. I clicked the square button and it said Vahana Wetlands or whatever it may be. It activated it. The Sentinels attacked me. They attacked me for opening a box. I would understand it more if the Sentinels were there to stop people from killing every life form that they come across. So if we find that herd of the Triceratops turtle monster that I was talking about earlier, if I had made the choice to shoot every animal, yes, the Sentinel should hunt me down and be the cops of the universe. But when it's something as simple as me activating a waypoint that's what you're there to do, is to document the locations and the planets that you found. That's a little bit too much. So the Sentinels need a little bit of work. The game feel I get out of that is just frustration, because you get punished for exploring these planets that you're really excited to look at and look forward to documenting the wildlife. So I didn't want to end on a low note, so I kind of saved the best for last. And the feelings that I hope you guys get to experience is just the unknowingness, or the unknown, and kind of that mystery that you get to solve as you journey to the center of the universe. No Man's Sky is something that is worth experiencing if you have the ability to, just for the grand scheme of things. To hit on it one more time, I think the best emotions that describe what you're going to feel is that sense of, smallness. You're going to feel like a speck of sand in a galaxy of millions and millions and millions of other life forms, bigger or smaller than you. I think you're going to feel wonderment and almost like an explorer as you document creatures and life forms that you find, and especially even the planets themselves and the life that they sustain based on the chemical balance of their own universe. And then lastly, I think you're going to feel accomplished once you kind of get a grasp on the system and the mechanics at hand. Just making sure upgrades, repairs, keeping things fully functional. The management is a lot more user-friendly than other games, so I have no gripes with it. I'm very, very excited to play No Man's Sky even after I finish this recording, and I appreciate you guys just listening to me. So feel free to comment, like, subscribe. I want to hear about your best experiences, maybe your worst experiences. Were you attacked by sentinels? Have they not left you alone? Or have you found a Venus flytrap that tricks you and makes you think it's a cave? You don't know. That all of this stuff could be out there, and we just need to come together as a community and find it. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to the second episode of Game Fields. The next one, we may go back in time a little bit more and check out something from the PS3. Keep it here. This is Jack of No Trades signing off.